Introduction real quick. So my name is TheoVann. You are?
Benny Smith.
Benny Smith, okay. And we're going to talk about some of the trash talk that's happened online. This article right here or this post in Stone County News You Should Know. Don't forget to donate to your local homeless pedophile, y'all. And my first impression is when I seen it, I said there's a lot of judgmental people that just throw out random stuff because they heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend.
Right.
So, what is your response to them posting that statement?
They're closed-minded,
Mm-hmm.
and one way about that is I have been threatened 3 full times.
Just here recently?
Yes.
Okay.
And the way they threatened me isn't against the law. It's not against the law to say that person is my good friend.
Mm-hmm.
That person is my good friend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that person is my good friend.
Mm-hmm.
They,
Okay.
like in that case,
Yeah.
nobody knows his tone, which was threatening.
Now, whenever I initially looked it up, the only article was, like I said, the drug one that you'd already, that's already done and over with. And then here recently, they did the whole, the mugshot one.
Yes.
Okay, so this one states 7/29/2023 is when you're arrested. 7/31/2023 is when you're released, and it states sexual indecency with a child, public sexual indecency. So this did happen, but tell me what happened.
And about 1:30 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
I'm living in a tent.
Yes, I've seen that before.
And if you've ever lived in a tent, it is hot.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the door open to help cool it down.
Mm-hmm.
I fell asleep. I was dreaming about my girlfriend. I woke up, and like any man in the country, I woke up with a hold on, and I was horny.
Mm-hmm.
I started checking off, and I realized the door was open. This was at 1:30 in the morning.
Okay.
A 13-year-old has no business being awake at 1:30 in the morning on a weeknight.
Okay.
As soon as I realized it, I got up and I closed the door on us.
Mm-hmm.
About 3 minutes later, a cop showed up and arrested me. I didn't do what I got arrested for because I didn't know they was awake 1:30 in the morning. I didn't even give it any thought
Mm-hmm.
that anybody would be awake at that time of the morning.
Okay.
But
That is, and if I'm not mistaken, you've been living in a tent for a while.
yes, I've been living in a tent, on the street,
Mm-hmm.
at people's houses for 1 or 2 nights.
Where did this one
All
take place?
this year.
What part of town did this take place in, if you don't mind?
It was at a OV park. The lady running it was nice enough to let me stay there
Okay.
for a month. And then she... Oh, I turned you on. Oh no, that's right, I didn't. Where was I at? Oh yeah, she let me stay there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was at the start of the month. I spent my disability check already, and I didn't have the money to pay for the place. She said I could stay there till I got my check.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at the end of the month, after I got released from jail, I couldn't never find it to pay. I kept waiting every day. Come to find out, she had a heart attack and died.
Oh, okay.
Her niece took over the place and told me to get out in 3 days.
Okay.
I didn't have my tent, nothing. anymore. All I had was my clothes and a sleeping bag. I met some people that I know, and they said they have a trailer that I could stay at.
Yeah.
That's when I started walking 10 miles to get into town to do the work. To If I wouldn't have walked into town, I wouldn't have met you that day.
Yeah.
I just got done.
Yeah.
And earlier that day, too, I noticed that someone stopped on the road and took a picture of me by my sign. And then I get told about what was posted.
Yeah, you're talking about this one, correct?
Yes, that's it right there.
Okay.
And I also know a little bit about the law. All I can say is it was a person in a car that took a picture of me and my sign. That is very judgmental and very close-minded.
That is. Now, what I think what we're gonna do, what the intention of this is to get this out there. I get your basically, you're in your castle, whether it be a tent, shack, a home, house,
Yes.
that is your castle. And one thing that I'm thinking of back at the end of, like, our summer was really great until the end of probably mid-July to the even into the next middle of the following month, where we just had record heats.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they were saying, record heats. It was just normal. That was whenever our actual heat of the summer hit, was around that time. So, yeah, I get wanting to leave your tent door open and 1:30 in the morning. And now, it seems like there was the mess up of not zipping up your tent, which I can see. And yes, every guy has, every man has man tendencies, and that was a man tendency. Now, as far as 13-year-old, I thought there was a curfew. But then again, if she was staying at the deal, I imagine she could be walking around her camper.
Yeah, but
However that may be. I'm sorry that.
Hey, one thing I want to add real quick, well, one of the many things I'll probably add, all in all, is he afterwards explained some of the stuff. I should have let him finish talking there. That was my fault. Still somewhat new to this, and I will only get better with time and experience at this. So I should have let him finish. That's what I want to add to that.
I'm sure you're probably sorry that she had to see that too. But, I mean, now I did do my due diligence before I was able to get a hold of you. I was trying to find out more about the subject before I came and talked to you. And I did. I went up to the sheriff's office, asked them, and they said that was a local police thing, so I went and talked to them. And even the lady that spoke with me stated that, yes, there was the sexual indecent exposure. Is that right?
yes.
And I said, well, was there a child? And she said there was somebody present, yes. But and they said that this was not intended for you to go after a child. And to me, like I said, I've met you multiple times, and I'm not saying we know each other, but I've never got that tendency, and I have kids. This town, if you look up the actual, first off, that's the first thing I did. I looked up the pedophile registry list. This town lights up like a Christmas tree.
Okay, so just to touch base on the map, this right here is a map of Stone County. And the more you zoom out, the more that pop up. Level 2 being moderate risk. Level 3 means high risk. If I'm not mistaken, level 3 also reintroduces to repeat offenders. And then the red level 4 offenders, sexually dangerous person. So that being said, just over this little area, like I said, these numbers change. This says 1 of 20 with it just right here. But like say you move over a little bit, it updates to where 1 through 20 of 40, so it can, I tried zooming out quite a bit, but it starts right there, just this little, this is not the biggest area, not the smallest either. 120, 142 in what you can see right here. 142 of them right here. Thing lights up like a Christmas tree. So please take that into consideration. And some of these guys, It'll even say, now don't get me wrong, Benny, he's got court coming up, but like I said, I'm pretty sure some other stuff happened that is not being said out to the public, and nobody's doing their due diligence to go out there and find the truth rather than prosecuting somebody who could possibly be innocent in a big misunderstanding.
You're not on that. You're not on the pedophile list. You're not a pedophile.
No.
You did say that this is a misdemeanor. That's why you're able to get out.
Yes.
And, we've got people in this town, there were the city, the dump over there. They had a pedophile class, a very high class pedophile going to the school and picking up recyclables. We neglect that, and it's all just, once it got out and word spread, yes, but there is no, people are jumping the gun. And I mean, we're talking about like outright jumping the gun. Somebody's even put on here, pew pew, nothing left to say.
Oh, say that again?
They said pew pew, nothing left to say. This is the kind of stuff that, there's, just on this one post alone, like you said, they're judgmental, very, very.
Okay, so some things I want to add to this. After this interview was all said and done, me and Benny got in the truck and we drove by the area, and he's not the best with words. I actually do feel somewhat bad and empathetic towards some people. I don't believe Benny did this, or I don't think that it's as harsh as whenever you hear it from a friend who heard it from a friend who heard it from a cousin, second cousin, third, fourth, and then like, oh yeah, well, this is what we heard. One of those on there stated that like, yeah, he was looking through somebody's window. From what he described to me, and with my speak with the police office, the local police department, this is more than likely the case between the two stories that I could connect, and they didn't really have much difference all in all, but Benny was he had a campsite, and in front of that campsite was another site for an RV because he was staying in an RV park. Dude's been living in a tent. I've seen it all over town for a couple of years now. He wound up being behind a camper, if I'm not mistaken, and he, behind most campers, they've got two tiny little windows. It's not a whole wall of windows or anything like that. But it was set up, somebody here visiting during end of July, one of our events we probably had going on. And he woke up at 1:30, did not get out of his tent, didn't really think too much of it. He sleeps with his tent unzipped, which, I get. Is it a stupid decision? Yes, I think that's a stupid decision, especially whenever you have tendencies of doing other things that males do. In the process of that, I'm going to tell you right now, I never thought I'd be talking about this kind of stuff in front of a camera to other people. This is kind of awkward, but we need to get this out there. We don't need to get this out there. If you feel like sharing, please do. But somebody was watching him through their window. To me, that kind of reminds me of the creepy boy next door trying to look at the neighbor girl through a magnifying glass or a telescope. That's kind of what this reminds me of. But all in all, he was I would say he did something stupid. We all get that by not just zipping up his tent. But, I guess I can get where he's kind of coming from. 1:30 a.m. Things hit. Hot as can be. Everybody's asleep. Our town closes at 11. There's nothing open after 11. If you're lucky, there might be a gas station or something like that open till midnight during the summer. I think there's one place that's open till midnight. And then it's just nothing. No gas, no nothing unless you have a credit card to go up there. You're not seeing people. And it's just a bad situation, and it really just discerns me. This is not a community. We're sitting here watching the world fall apart, and we're all like, that song comes out, try that in a small town. This small town would eat each other up. They've been eating each other up for a long time. It's a retirement town where people moved here to retire. Their kids follow them, things of that nature. I've been here for 10 years, still get treated like I'm from off. They're not too friendly to people from not here. And I've even spoke with people who have originated and lived their entire lives in 56 and says Mountain View's always been that way. They've always been like everybody's an outsider. So I just don't think we can jump the gun and say pew pew. We can't just go out there and start burying somebody without knowing what's going on. And that's exactly what everybody's doing. You're being very judgmental. Like to the church that I went to that the church hired me to take photographs from, one of the locals that was there was asking me what my business was in a church on Sunday. And this is what the entire town's acting like. That guy. And this isn't even church. This is our community where we're supposed to be accepting of each other. We have to start talking, or Daryl says hello, or we're just going to fall apart. So the choice is yours. Go on ahead and virtue signal and act like the bigger person calling out pedophiles. Meanwhile, you becoming the actual monster equivalent to a pedophile by just getting rid of somebody who's innocent because of you feeling better. It makes you feel better to just jump the gun and say, well, yeah. And if you're saying, well, I didn't know this, or you agree with this, that this is what this is for. This is the learning for what this is for. To say, well, maybe there is another side to the story. We have an abundant amount of just one-sided stories, and that's it. That's all we're ever going to listen to. Then yes, there's going to be a lot of innocent people hurt. A lot of friendly people hurt. And it's only a matter of time before it gets turned on you. Anyway, please keep up the good work. I will do my damnedest to do more of these around just this small town, just to get people together, because we're not a community. And that's not what I want for the future of my children. If you'd like to help do more of these, like I said, if you'd like to donate to help fund some of this stuff, please, I put my CashApp link in the description, as well as Benny's CashApp and his social media profiles. They will all be listed in the description. And if you can, please help. That'd be great. He recently got kicked out, is getting kicked out of his place because of the people that he's staying with, seeing all the discussion online. And it took some talking to, but they did wind up not kicking him out instantly. It is a mess, and these are the harsh things that could come of people speaking out their ass. So anyway, keep up the good work. Thank you. Bye.